I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds here before I get started. What's up, John? Johnny? Also, too, while you're waiting, if you're by a computer, go to karlschuckert.com, KarlSchuckert. And if you join us there, if you go there, I will give you a free ebook. This ebook I wrote, and it's 20 tips that'll help skyrocket your business. So what's up, JHen777? What's up, Luke? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Darcy, thanks for inviting some followers. What's up? What's up, guys? So, I want to talk to you guys about some stuff that's been going on. What's up, Darcy? What's up, Luke? So I want to talk to you guys about some things that are going on around me, and I see this all the time, and it's just, it's one of those things that we always kind of let things affect us, and emotions, right? So, no matter what, it seems like wherever you go, wherever I go, I seem like I attract emotional people somewhat. A lot of people that I get involved with are somewhat emotional. And anyway, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about like how to overcome other people's state of mind, and sometimes it's hard. Life is hard, things are hard, situations are hard, the places that you might be in are hard. Financially, things could be hard, or our family issues can be hard. Anything. Life is just this weird thing where we're not here for very long and then we're gone, and we have such a short span. And it's so important to enjoy your life, enjoy your time while we're here. And I always use this analogy that we're carrying this weight on us, and every time something happens that's crappy or something like that, we pick up this rock and we throw it up in the air, and it lands into the back of our backpack. And this backpack starts to get heavy, and it's hard. You're just struggling, and it gets heavy, and it gets heavier every time you keep throwing it. And by the end of the day, or at some certain part in the day, it gets overwhelming, and you fall over, and you either lose it or you go through an emotional issue. Where, what's up, Jeff? I'm talking about something. It's kind of personal, but I'm running into this with people around me sometimes, and I just want to share with people how you can overcome emotional problems with people around you. Now, I've always noticed that there's kind of two different ways that you can deal with this. One of the ways is you can just not deal with it. People say, stay away from negative people, and it has nothing to do with being around negative people. Awesome, Darcy, definitely a little plug there for Chris. But people that need to get out of their mind. Everybody's kind of sometimes get stuck in their mind. The things that you could possibly achieve in your life is unbelievable if you believe in yourself. And so that's why I kind of want to talk about this, is that the fact that there's different ways that you can handle this, and it's all about influence. You have to influence people to be positive and look at the good things. And one way that surrounding yourself with positive people is such a game changer. Absolutely, Darcy. But even the best of us, even the best of us have a bad time or a bad day. We're all entitled to have a bad day. We're all entitled to have things. The thing is you got to look at your surroundings. You got to look at yourself and look at the situation and try to figure out what it is that, why is this happening, or why does this keep happening? I always call this the broken record syndrome too. The broken record syndrome is I'm sure you know someone like that. Maybe a family member, maybe a friend, who knows? But it seems like all they do is it just keeps skipping, right? The record keeps going around, it skips, it just keeps skipping. And the problem with that is that these people don't understand it, that as humans, we are a creature of habit. And when you become a creature of habit, you fall into these grooves of stressful situations, and you always find yourself in that. And it's you're calling out to the world because of it, come find this situation, come find why I'm not, why I'm running into these problems, why I'm not successful, why I don't have any money in the bank. And then the thing is that people around us, like family members and stuff like that, sure, you can surround yourself around a lot of successful people, and you can decide to tune out the people that aren't, or whatever, but sometimes they're family members, and sometimes these people are like dream crushers. And, the dream crushers, those are the people you want to stay away from. But sometimes when they're family, it's kind of hard. You know, I've got close members of my family that they are just full of excuses. Every time I ask them, like, hey, let's go do this. Oh, I can't do that because I don't have any money. Or I can't do that because, because I don't have enough gas in my car. Just stupid things, right? But to me, I find it stupid. However, it's a big deal to these people. You know, it's just they don't know how to look for the solution. They're always just caught up in the problem rather than trying to find solutions. Now, one of the millionaire mentors that I had years ago, he taught me something that was really, really important. There's a couple, he taught me tons of stuff, but one of the biggest things that he taught me was that come to me, Carl, with solutions. Don't come to me with problems. And that changed my mindset a lot, because I would go to like, hey, how would you solve this? How would you do that? How would you do this? How would you do that? Instead, he was saying, no, be self-sufficient. Come to me with your solutions. So every time I would go to him, I would say, hey, I ran into this situation. I thought it was a problem, but here's what I found as a solution. What do you think? Do you think that's a good solution, or do you think that's a good solution? And then he'd usually put it back on me. Well, what do you think is a good solution? So it's a little way of just keeping the question, answering a question with a question. But you can do that with yourself, guys. If you have problems in your life, or you have an issue in your life, ask yourself, and it will come. The answers will come to you. You just got to put them out there, and the answers will come to you, and you will find the solution to any problem, any issue that you possibly can run into. And if you don't, then maybe seek some help. Now, one other thing that I want to give you guys as a tip, I don't have a lot of time either. My wife Ikumi is going to be getting done here soon, so she'll be calling me, and I'll probably have to go down there. But what I do is I call this the T. In sales, they call it it's a way to overcome some resistance in sales, and they call it the Benjamin Franklin close. But this works for everything, no matter what. Okay, if you have to make a big decision and you're making it into a big problem, customercarl.com. Awesome, I like that. Maybe I will. Maybe we should make a thing that has a whole bunch of questions. But actually, I'll open it up for questions if I have time. So make a T across a piece of paper, all right? Right on the very top of it, come to me, carl.com. I don't know if I like that one. But anyway, you write on the top, and you would say, like, whatever the problem is or whatever the decision is, and then right underneath the T on the left side, you would put pros, and right on the T on the right side, you would write cons, okay? And then what you would want to do is you'll write down all the possible pros you could possibly think of. I just bought that domain. I'll have to buy it from you now, Luke. Are you selling domains now? Anyway, I know you're selling physical products. Now you're selling domains. So anyway, on the left-hand side, you got pros and cons. And just write down all the pros that you possibly could find and all the cons that you can think of as well. And then that will help you make a decision. It'll help you figure it out. Now, going back onto the emotional stuff is... if someone else around you is emotional, and let's say that they're what I consider a dream crusher. Dream crushers are just the people that put you down for what you're doing. Maybe you're in multi-level marketing. Sure, it's not for me, but it's a great, multi-level marketing is awesome for a lot of people. It has tons of training. There's tons of pros to it. And so basically, like, someone might be telling you, oh, I've done that before, that doesn't work, and blah, 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 blah. Well, they're just crushing your dreams and your aspirations to it, because they don't have it in themselves. They don't have the ability to believe in something like that, to back. They don't have enough belief in themselves possibly to do that. So what I do is I actually take that energy that and that's the thing too, guys. Haters. There's a lot of haters out there. It's because they have it's because they've tried things and they failed once and then they've given up. They don't understand that failure is good. Failure actually teaches you how not to fail next time, and it gives you a lot of lessons in failure and what not to do and how to do it better next time, okay? And just because you fail doesn't mean you're not successful. Actually, the most successful people are the ones that fell over and over and over and over again. Come to me, Carl could be the new kept calm fad. Are you guys going to turn it into a physical product? That'd be funny. Anyway, so going back onto what I was talking about Dream Crushers, is you can actually take that energy and you can flip it, okay? Something negative happens to you in your life at a certain point, you can actually take that time and just completely flip the energy. For one, they're giving you energy, so that's good because it creates polarity. There's always going to be haters, and so what? So Don't let them hold you back from you being you, from you having a message that you want to give out to the world, or something that you're good at that you want to get out there. Maybe you're not into getting your message out there, but you have great ideas. Like maybe you're a mad scientist or something, and you could come up with this chemical that cleans everything and doesn't, it's non-toxic, or, you know, whatever it is. You have to go for it. And people that give you a negative response, maybe you're out surveying people, or you're asking people about what do you think about this and that, and people are like, oh, that's not going to work, blah blah blah. Well, so what? Maybe because they're feeling they want everybody else, they want to bring everybody to their level. Don't let them bring them to. Don't let them bring you to their level. Who's in control of yourself? You're in control of yourself. You're in control of your emotions. And once you understand that you can control that and you can flip that energy into a positive, in fact, for me, it just lights a fire up. It lights a fire under me, and it's like, okay, fine, I want to prove you wrong. I'm going to give you a time that I failed. Actually, I'm going to give you a story where I was really successful, and then I became a failure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Darcy, the thing about haters is like, so what? I'm like, thank you. Thank you for hating on me, because you're giving me attention. You know, that reminds me of the shock jock, Howard Stern, right? He had so many haters, and guess who the most people were that were listening to him? They were all the haters were listening to him, and they were the ones why he had such high reviews. That's why he had so many. The people that hated him the most listened to him more than the people that liked him. So haters are good. I think it's a good thing. It's what keeps the world go around, and it gives me energy. It gives me fuel to my fire, and makes me want to just go even harder. And so, anyway, I'm going to tell you, I had a business. I started in a business called First Defense Security, and we were actually an ADT security system company. And the reason why I decided to work there is because I was young and I wanted to learn how to be successful in sales, and I thought the best way I could possibly learn how to be successful in sales was to start knocking on doors and getting myself completely out of my comfort zone. So at that point I was like, let's go pound on some doors, let's overcome as much resistance and as much of everything, get ourselves out there as many times as I can. I would knock literally on 100 doors a day. I would get into like 2 or 3 homes, and I'd sell like 50-60% security systems, because I had a good presentation and the need was there, and it was an easy thing to sell at the time. I don't know if security systems are still pretty easy to sell. Maybe they are. I don't know. But anyway, I did really good. I became the top salesperson there, and I was like 21 years old about. And the guy that owned the company, he was down in Las Vegas, and he had a few different locations everywhere. I became their top salesperson, and so he let me run and become I used to sell Kirby vacuums. Awesome. So you were door knocking, and you know what that's like. So I became the manager, the city manager for the security company, and then we became like a Monotronics dealer. We moved away from ADT. They had a bunch of, Tyco problems or whatever. And so I ended up going in that office. And at that point, I found out how much money these guys were making. I was making like $34,000 a year, and I was a top guy. And I think that to me was not, sure, at 21 that was good money, but to me that wasn't good money, and I knew it. So what I figured out that these guys were making close to $1 million a year on just my production, plus whatever my team was doing. So at that point, I said, you know what? I am going to go and start investigating how can I become my own business owner, and how can I start my own company. So I ended up calling this company called Monotronics, and they're a big, huge company for securities, a great company. And I talked to their manager, their sales manager there, and he was friends with the owner of the other company. And so I said in confidential, hey, look, I'm not making any big decisions. I'm just thinking about opening up my own dealership, and if I did, what would it take? And so the guy broke it all down to me, showed me everything I needed to do. And so I was like, that's interesting. There's a lot of stuff I need to do. Need to have a contractor's license. Don't have a contractor's license. I need to have, bonding and all this stuff going on. I need to have a crew of people that can install security systems. And then I need to also build a crew of people that can sell it. And on top of that, I need to think about advertising and all that stuff. But they actually had a whole system that would kind of teach you all that. And I was already doing it for someone else. So I figured I needed to find a partner, and I had to find a partner that had a contractor's license. And one of my good friends, actually his dad had a contractor's license, and I actually pitched it to him, and he thought it was a great idea and backed it. He was all about it. So, but I didn't make the move yet. All right. So what happened within a few weeks of after talking to that sales guy, because he was friends with the other guy, he ended up telling him, mine froze, sorry. It could be me, it could be you, I don't know. So I ended up telling that guy that, okay, now, awesome, good job. So he ended up telling the owner of the company that I was interested in starting my own business. And that guy let the emotions rise. His temperature went huge, popped. He gave me a call, and he gave me the "you're fired, Carl" talk. And I was the guy running the show for him here in Reno, Nevada. He had no one else. He had me, and I had a whole bunch of salespeople that I trained all of them. I had the whole operation going, and so he called me and fired me. And during the call, I was like, "Hey, I wasn't going to leave you. It's not in my makeup to leave you in a bad situation. I was going to replace myself and then leave. But guess what? He fired me, and guess what that did for me? That actually made me super motivated. I took that energy and I flipped it around. It made me, instead of being pissed off about it, I just got super motivated. I was like, fine. I have already talked to these people. I've already got these deals together. And so it gave me tons. I was like, fine, you've basically talked me into it. And so I went out and I just did everything. We made our own company. It was called Fort Knox Security. We made the contracts with the companies that manufactured all the products that we needed to get installed. Yeah, definitely. Getting fired got me fired up. So basically, I made it all happen. We did everything. We had advertising. We had all kinds of stuff going on. And so we opened up the doors. I had a sales crew. We were knocking on doors. We were doing anything we could. Ended up not being able to work with Monotronics on the level of sales, but I did become a company that could actually fix all of their equipment. I was able to make a backdoor contract that way because this guy made such a stink with them. He told them he was going to leave, and he had a pretty successful business. So about a year or so later went by. My business partner and I kind of went south. I probably don't need to go into too much detail about what happened with our business relationship, but I was at a point where it was like, you know what, this is not going to work. I've got to close my doors. And when I closed my doors, I ended up getting a phone call from the guy that owned the other company, and he was basically begging me to come back to work for him. He said, I made a huge mistake. I should have made you a partner, blah, 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 blah. I said, look, I'm already getting into the insurance business at this point. I'm not really interested in this. This is the next level for me. At that point, I knew that, door knocking, it was where I was going to get lots of experience and also be able to start training people. But then the next level for me was to get into something that was a little bit more professional. So that's why I got into the insurance industry. And also after I did a ton of research about insurance versus real estate. And, real estate did really well. I had friends that started in real estate, and then I got into insurance. Insurance is when the stock markets are crashing and everything's falling down, more people buy insurance. So it's it doesn't matter what the economy is. More people buy life insurance when the economy goes bad. So I decided to do that and build residual income and residual renewals. And that's why I'm able to do what I do today. It's like why I'm able to go hang out with Chris Record on the weekends. Exactly, there's the word, recession-proof. I'm able to go and hang out at Chris Record's office and help him with whatever I can help him with, and have freedom in my life to do pretty much whatever I want to do because I sold so much insurance and because I was able to get a team of people that are great at insurance, and I was able to provide them with tools. So that's all I've been doing for the last, actually 2004 is when all this happened. So I've actually been doing it over 9 years. I've been doing it for 11 years. So, I've got a little bit of experience under my belt because of that. But anyway, going back onto the emotional stuff is that you can't let this stuff affect you. You got to think about, the first thing I always think about is, can I control this? Can I control this stuff? And if I can't control it, then why should I be pissed off about it? Why would you allow someone else's bad mood or bad day affect my day? That's not me. When I'm driving down the road and someone cuts me off, and then I'm like, you mother, blah, 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 saying all kinds of negative stuff. And then guess what? Now my day's ruined because someone else cut me off. That's stupid. Just get out of your head, get in the zone, remember why you're here, remember your purpose, remember your why, and go for it. So guys, I'm already starting to get some messages, so I definitely have to take off. But I want to thank you. Thanks for giving me hearts. Thanks for sharing. I wanted to just do this one. I'm going to probably have some more on NLP and stuff like that. Maybe I'll take like 5 more minutes. Do you guys have any questions or anything for me about overcoming negativity or overcoming people that have emotions? I know on the name of this I called it logic and versus emotion. So part of that too is like, what's the logical sense of having an emotional negative day or whatever the case may be? There's no logic there usually. You never find logic, but I seem to keep myself around a lot of emotional people, and that'll kind of be like on my next Periscope probably, is I'm going to start talking about NLP. There's 3 different type of thinking people that are dominant. There's auditorial, there's visual, and there's kinesthetic. And we'll talk more about like how to communicate better with these people. We'll talk more about how to read these people, and then you can just use it. Like I'm going to probably give you a couple of homework assignments, I should say, to get good at that. The other thing I want to leave you with, let's see here. I get insured in my own emotions. Thanks. Good talk. Yeah, that's the thing, is we get caught up. We get caught in our head. It's hard for us to get out. I think being non-emotional can be a problem as well. Absolutely. Emotions they're not just negative things, right? Emotional things are positive things, as happiness. There's jealousy. There's, what is it? It's like in the Bible or something like that. It's like the 7 deadly sins. Those are all like emotions, right? Emotional intelligence. That's a good book. I've read 2.0. So yeah, those emotions are good. They're not bad. You can't be a robot. You can't sound like a robot all the time. It's okay to cry too. Sometimes crying is a good thing to just get it out. Yeah, empathy. The difference between empathy and sympathy. Do you guys know the difference between empathy and sympathy? There's another good tip that one of my millionaire mentors taught me. Sympathy is where you jump into the river with them. Like say someone's drowning or that you're on a boat and someone's drowning and you jump off. That's sympathy, because now they could pull you with them and drown you. Empathy is where I feel for you. Here's a life vest, or here's something I can pull you in with and bring you in. So just a couple little tips. If you have any questions, I'll keep it on for just a little bit longer. But other than that, thanks guys. I hope something here helped you. If you want to get a free gift from me, you can go to karlschuckert.com, KarlSchuckert.com. You can get my top 20 productivity tips that will skyrocket your business and help you gain wealth fast. These are tips that I've used in my life that have helped me take it to the next level. Darcy, awesome. Thank you for posting that. Love it. And guys, I don't have much more time. I got to go pick up Ikumi from the restaurant. But hope you got a little bit out of this, and you get more as we continue. Thanks for joining me on my Periscope. What's been one of your biggest hurdles in the past 2 years? What would be one of my biggest hurdles? Let's see. There's always there's always something that's a constant hurdle, right? But the hardest thing was, and this is an emotional thing, was losing my grandpa. My grandpa was an entrepreneur. He was a huge inspiration to me growing up. I seen him go from a multi-millionaire to dirt poor to a multi-millionaire to dirt poor like 3 times. So I got to learn a lot about failure and keep going, and also about partnerships and stuff like that. When he passed away, he was one of my mentors. Like, I was always able to call him. I was always able to get in touch with him, and now I can only get in touch with him by idea, spiritually. In my heart, I can bring in, like, what would he say? How would he handle this? Type of thing. Sometimes that helps you overcome some of your because, sometimes I'll break down and just think about it. When you lose a family member, it's one of those things that's tough. Speaking of losing a family member, Princess Fizz just lost her father. Really sad. I saw that on Facebook, that she didn't have the best relationship with her dad. So it's important that you have a great relationship even with your parents, even if they're negative, right? We always talk about, I was talking about, not having people in your life that aren't negative. My father, him and I are totally different, and the thing is that I don't let it bother me, because I know we're just a short time on this earth. You know, I don't. He has a lot of excuses and stuff for his life, and you know, that's the difference. Is like either find excuses or find reasons why you need to do it. Don't find reasons why you can't do it. Find reasons why you need to do it. And so anyway, yeah, losing my grandpa was one of those things that I lost a life mentor, a best friend, a grandpa. Someone to talk to anytime I wanted, even my grandma, but my grandpa recently just passed away, and it was hard. It was, you know, it's actually been over a year now, but it was hard. It still is hard, and you know, that's the thing, is life is like, you know, it's short, and you gotta take massive action, imperfect action or imperfect action, like you were saying, Darcy, but turn that into perfect action, because like Zig Ziglar says, practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. All right, guys. Love ya. Thanks for being on here, and we'll see you on the next Periscope. And I'll definitely watch out for some of your guys' Periscopes, too. I know, Luke, I haven't seen you do one yet. Darcy, I've been on one of yours. And Jeff, we'll see you sometime. I'm sure you'll get out of your shell and make it happen. And when you do, we'll definitely be here to cheer you on. All right, guys. Take care.